Hello, darlings. Oh, we've got the good stuff tonight, my lovelies. Bear with. Good evening, my darlings, and a very warm welcome to Sunday. Gosh, it's Sunday. This is unusual, isn't it? A very warm welcome to Sunday Night Live with me, Boaty, and I'm going to be coming into any available orifice, quite frankly. Beggars can't be choosers. For the next, oh, look, I left a mark on the table there. For the next 57 minutes. And it's a great and unexpected pleasure. Well, it's not unexpected, but it is a great pleasure to be with you on a Sunday. How unusual. Cheers. Your very good health. Oh, God, that's so nice. Oh, I'd forgotten just how nice that was. The stars aligned over this weekend, my lovelies. Sainsbury's have got the 25% off 6 bottles or more of wine. That's star number one. Oh, I'm just getting it. Oh, I'm getting that. Oh gosh, those nice warm tendrils. It went down all cold, and now the nice warm tendrils are. Oh, they're fanning out across my ample abdomen and giving me little quivers of pleasure all over my body. God Almighty, this is like an orgasm. I'm having a winegasm, my lovelies, a full-on, full-blown winegasm. So yeah, star number one, 25% off 6 bottles or more. Star number two, taste the difference long dark on special offer reduced to £7.25. Star number three, I actually had enough money to buy 6 bottles. So all of those three things aligned. 6 bottles meant that it was £5.44 per bottle. So a little more than my standard quaffing wine, which is £5 per bottle. But my God, worth every penny. Oh, oh, that is, oh, God, that's nice. That's so nice. So the reason you have to put up with me unusually on a Sunday is that, as many of you will know, Captain Mustard has got a family commitment tomorrow, and he has to go down south to Somerset, which means the Yard of Dreams will be closed, which means that I won't be going there, which means that don't have to get my ass out of the door at an unreasonably early time tomorrow morning, which means that I can do this and I can be here with you, which is just wonderful. So, speaking of you, let's see who you are tonight. Steakhole, good evening to you. General Cheeseburger, the one and only. Boaty, on a Sunday? Has he run out of podgering lube? The lovely John Stoodley, good evening, Boaty. Good evening, chat. Oh dear. Oh dear, 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 dear. Oh gosh, John's been back into the old hospital. Oh dear, problems with the wound. Gosh. Neil, the lovely Neil, aka Zigibanatori. Hello all. Hope we're all well this Sunday night. I echo that hope. Uh, yes, in oh bloody hell, John. Oh bless you, mate. Oh gosh, dear me, John had another TIA last night. Oh Lord above. Oh God, let's hope things settle down. Exactly, as Cheeseburger says, we all hope that those were behind you, but dear me. Cheeseburger has got a question for Neil. Can I ask you a question? He says on dashboard wiring, on dash cam wiring, and then he doesn't wait for an answer. He doesn't wait for Neil to say, "Yes, of course you can ask me a question. Please do. Feel free." And he's already asked you a question by asking if he can ask you a question. So you kind of didn't give him much choice there, did you, Cheeseburger? And you've actually asked him two questions because your second question is, I've seen Halford sell a kit that picks up live from the OBD rather than the fuse box. Which would be easier? What do you think? Joe is with us, the lovely Cars with JC. There's nothing more satisfying than the cork popping. I agree with that. Proper wine with a cork, says Cheeseburger. He must have scored since Thursday. Good afternoon, everyone, says Barry. And that's that guy from SETI Alpha 5, of course. I'll be listening rather than talking. I'm cooking, and a spag bowl, to be precise. Oh, well, what's everybody's secret for spag bowl? Some people say Worcester sauce is the secret. And do you put carrots in it? If you do, we can't be friends. Ugh, cooked carrots, horrible. Oh God, oh, this is. If you want a winegasm, I totally recommend this stuff. It is fabulous. God, it's literally giving me the shakes. I'm Jeffrey and Archer are quivering with wine excitement. Oh God, I hope I haven't peaked too soon. Oh, the lovely Sophie is with us. Hi everyone, how are we all? Well, I'm okay. John's not too great, Soph, and hopefully everybody else is okay. But how are you, my lovely? Have you had a good weekend? How is your job hunting going? Have you had any luck? Park Nest is here and says, hi, everyone. Hi, Boaty. How are you, my friend? How's your week been? And hope you're okay. I'm fine, Soph. My week has been pretty good, really. Yeah, pretty much okay. Hope yours has been good too. I like the warm feeling of whiskey, says Barry. Bad Books is here. Good evening, all. Oh, the lovely Simone, Hooked on Classics. Good evening. Neil is going to answer Cheeseburger. This will be interesting. Fuse box pickup is better, opines Neil. And he's a man who knows. Depending on your car, you can wire into the fuse for the cigarette lighter, or if you have a 75 or ZT, which Cheeseburger doesn't, the window fuse is switched live. Some of those OBD adapters can cause problems, says Parknest. I saw such a problem on the South Main Auto channel, I think. Mark Passad says, evening all, Boaty and mustard invite. I cannot wait. Yeah, for those of you who subject yourself to my videos, you will be aware that, well, actually, you've been aware anyway, because I talked about it on a live stream, didn't I? But yeah, we're in the process of inviting the great and the good of YouTube to come and have lunch with us and get it filmed, warts and all. A lovely Sunday evening service from the very Reverend Boaty, says Andrew. How are we all? Oh, Ross, Dinosaur Dad. A good morning to you all. Beans on toast for Bricky. Oh, and I bought a 3-litre cask red for a tenner. Hardest cap south, but it's made here. Carlos Fandango Super Wide Wheel says, I've just received an Amazon HUD unit supposed to work off GPS. Anyone used one? I haven't installed it yet because I've been to Big London watching Back to the Future. Oh, no. What's an Amazon HUD unit? Oh, hang on, I might know this. Heads up display. See, I'm so down with the kids. I know these things. Heads up display. Cheeseburger says, thanks, Neil. It's a R56 Mini. The fuse box is easy enough to get to with the fuse extender. Just a bit more trim to break. Oh, jolly good. Andrew says, Heinz tomato soup in my spag bowl. God, that takes me back. I've told this story many times before, but it's true. If you were from the valleys of South Wales and you were born in the 60s or 70s, then the chances were that if you were served spag bowl by your mother or grandmother, it would have been corned beef in Heinz tomato soup. That's what passed for the bolognese, the bowl part of spag bowl where I come from. Ross says, although not a rover, I've got to do the alternator, water pump, pulley and belt on the V6 Camry. Gosh, apparently 8 hours. Wish me luck. Oh, you've got a V6 Camry. Oh, there we are. I power my dash cams off a cigarette lighter socket, says Parknest. A hidden message. And it's from Carlos Fandango Super Wide Wheels, who says, I'm from Essex, you tit. Noted. Fuse box is the best place, says Joe. Well, not for, well, no, we'll pass on that. Sophie says, I'm good, thanks. No luck yet, but doing well from the job. Oh, right, that's good, that's weak. And also your weekend has been lovely because you've been with Neil. Well, that would make any weekend lovely. Neil is the sort of chap who just makes things lovely. Oh, right, John. I've got an emergency appointment with my consultant on Tuesday, as he's worried that the op didn't cure my problems as he anticipated. Well, let's hope there's something more that can be done. I mean, you got through the procedure. What else is going to be? Gosh, what's going to be? I mean, with the clock gone. Oh dear me. Well, I mean, we've all got everything crossed for you, my friend. Neil says it's something Paul needs. That is, HUD hides your dongle. Yeah, Mustard definitely needs to hide his dongle. Mark asks, with the lunches, do the guests choose the lunch? Well, that's a good question, Mark. That is a good question. Well, I suppose so. I mean, our rule is that whoever is paying chooses the establishment, but then you all get your own, you choose what you want to eat from that establishment. So there's always going to be an element of joy. That's a good question, actually. We've still got some details to work out. Cheeseburger says, Ross, I like the 5 Series. Even Mustard seemed to grudgingly like it. They're a bit soulless, but that's a sacrifice. The M5 isn't. Hate to love you. Have to love you and leave you now, says Andrew. Have a fantastic night, everyone. Jolly good. Hope you do too, Andrew. Simone has a TomTom. No faffing with a mobile phone for directions. I have I had a TomTom for each card. I sold them all. I have got one TomTom left, but I don't use it. It's sitting in the drawer. I tend not to need a sat nav much these days, hardly ever, and it's kind of easier to just on the very odd occasion that I do need some guidance from a GPS type thing. It's easier just to use my phone, to be honest. But I was a huge fan of TomTom. I had the first TomTom that came out, the top of the range one. The when they were first released, it was 300, 500, and 700. And I had the 700 with the posh TomTom carrying case for all of your accoutrement as well. That's a nice word, isn't it? Accoutrement. Write that down, somebody. And yeah, it used to be my thing is that whenever a new one came out, I used to upgrade it. Those were the days when I had money. I knew somebody would pick up on this. Cheeseburger says, Ross, V6 Camry, you didn't sell that shit box to hubby, did you? God, that's something to talk about. Okay, who remembers Ian's V6 Camry? And my question to you is, now, he bought that car. For those who don't know, he bought a V6 Camry estate, largely or possibly predominantly because it had two rear wipers on the tailgate, as opposed to the norm, which is of course one. And it was a shed. Well, it wasn't a shed, wasn't a total. Well, it was a bit of a shed. Well, I mean, it was scrap basically, wasn't it? It had an engine issue, head gasket or whatever it was. I can't remember if they ever got to the bottom of what it was, but the car was overheating basically and or losing coolant. And when he went on a test drive in the car, the salesman, not too surreptitiously, turned the heating up to full, which is a bit of a bloody dead giveaway on a test drive, isn't it? And Ian bought it anyway. And some people claimed that he knowingly bought a dud car for the clicks. I don't believe that for a second. But he didn't massively try to. I suppose the question I'm getting at is, do you think he dealt with it in the right way? I actually spoke to him about it at the time. And I completely understood why he decided to do what he did. And what he did, basically, he fired a couple of emails off to the seller, and it was a dealer, allegedly, theoretically, and they weren't replied to. So he basically let it go, took it on the chin, and sold it off at a substantial loss. I think, I don't know what he sold it for. If I recall correctly, he paid $2,000 for it, which is a fair old chunk of change. And he just took it on the chin, saying that partly that he's a man who's supposed to know what he's doing. All of the warning signs were there, and he chose to ignore them. And I kind of understand that. He'd kind of mentally committed to the car. He'd booked train tickets to go and get it. He'd booked single tickets, obviously. So he'd kind of already committed to it. And it's all too easy then to ignore the warning signs and think, well, I'll take my chances, make the best of it. Because the alternative is having to arrange transport at zero notice to get back and paying through the nose for train tickets and whatnot. But yeah, he took it on the chin. And do you think he did the right thing? Would you have done it any differently? As I said, I spoke to him about it at the time, and I completely understood where he was coming from. And if I was in his situation, I would probably have done the same. If I was in my situation, I wouldn't have. I would have dealt with it differently. But then I haven't got 100,000 subscribers or however many he had there. And if he'd have gone public and named and shamed or whatever, then you can guarantee that there would have been a ragtag and bobtail group of vigilantes heading around there. He also pointed out that the guy was a complete fly by night, operating on a pitch from a mobile phone. And you know how these things go. You rip off a couple of customers, change the name of the company, change your mobile phone number, crack on. So he probably would have been on a hide into nothing. And given that he is a kind of public figure, it would have been a bit dodgy for him to try to do anything else, I suppose. Bear with. But yeah, that was arguably that was Ian's biggest disaster. Does anybody know a bigger hubnut disaster than that? I mean, that God, what was it? What was that stupid thing you bought? Oh, what do you call it? Fiat or Renault or whatever it was. That stupid bloody thing, all done up with fur and the footballer's foot on it. What was it? Twingo? No, not a Twingo. I can't remember what it was called. The three-seater thing. Oh, you lot know what I'm talking about. That was a bloody disaster as well, didn't it? I mean, that was probably the last video of his that I really enjoyed when he drove that to deliver it to the very brave buyer, and he had to drive it there with no clutch. That brought back a lot of memories. I've done that more times than I care to remember. We're all with you on Tuesday, John, says Cheeseburger, and absolutely we are. Neil says, going back to the mustard and Boaty do lunch, more importantly, do the guests pay for all lunches? Yeah, well, ideally, Neil, yeah, that's that's the idea. I mean, there are probably still some details that are going to need to be ironed out, aren't there? I don't know. I mean, so when we have lunch with like a major YouTube celebrity, should we pay for their lunch? Because arguably they're doing us the favor by, because we will be gaining exposure through being with them, or should they pay for our lunch because we're as poor as fucking church mice, and they're probably a lot more comfortably off? Good question. And a cheeseburger, quite right. Mark, choose the lunch. They have to bloody well pay. Well, there is kind of a tradition, yeah, in that guests do very kindly treat us to lunch. There's certainly been one notable exception, but with that one notable exception, people have been very kind. Russ says cheesy. Lol. No, it's a bit newer. It's a 3.5, but I had to laugh that he bought the worst one in the country. Oh, Boaty, you missed what I had for tea, says Sophie. Did I? Well, let's scroll back. Sophie. Well, you retracted a message, Sophie. So if that was a message saying what you had for tea, then I couldn't have seen it. Yeah, it just says message retracted. So you'll have to tell me again. Oh, John, bless you. Yeah, well, of course you would. Yeah, John's just saying thank you to everybody in the chat. He's for the good wishes and for the care. He's a little worried that it seems like it didn't solve the issue. Well, of course you're going to be worried. And he's got to have a head scan and body scan. The specialist was saying, well, the consultant was saying, yeah, well, that's good. I mean, let's look at it this way. You had a clot, that much is known. So that was a massive, massive risk to your health, wasn't it? So that needed to go, and that's been done. So that's good. And if there were other issues, then they need to be investigated too. And they can be sorted or mitigated. So, I mean, at least it's good that they're on the case. But I mean, my heart goes out to you, mate, because you must be shitting yourself. Of course, you must be. But you know, try and stay positive. Hope for the best. And as Cheeseburger said, we're all right there with you. We'll even bring you some food to the hospital if you have to go back in. We're good like that. I'll bring my gas stove and I'll make you some Momo in the hospital car park and bring them into you. I don't like using a phone for guidance, says Simone. Stupid idea, and gives people more excuse to play with the phone, which, as we know, is illegal. Not if it's in a phone mount and you can operate it all by voice, hands free. Cheeseburger says, oh, it was head gasket. We're talking about Ian's Camry. The test drive put the heating on, and hubby knew this all the time. Did he give 3K for it? I thought it was 2 grand he gave, but Ross says it was 3K. I'm sure it was 2. Neil says, if that had happened to me, I'd have put the car through whatever premises I sold the car from. Yeah, well, that's, I would have done something very similar, Neil. I would have just rocked up unannounced to the place and I would have expressed my feelings to the gentleman who sold it face to face. But then, how can I put this delicately? You and I, Neil, we're kind of lumps, and Ian isn't quite such a lump. He might not be as good at confrontation as you are. But yeah, I mean, I would have had something to say about it. But again, if I was in Ian's position, I would probably have done exactly the same as he did. There was, I watched very occasionally, probably when I'm pissed, I watch a random video that pops up on my home screen or on my suggested video screen. And I watched one, gosh, a week or two ago, some American YouTube channel. Don't ask me what it was. I can't remember. I haven't watched any more. But it was one of those. He's a car dealer, and somebody tried to rip him off. Well, they actually did rip him off. It was something like a $35,000. I think it was a Corvette. I think. And somebody ripped him off. They tried all sorts. They did chargebacks on the various credit cards they used to pay for part of it. They tried to short pay him in cash. Oh, all sorts. You know, obviously a wrong un. And he kind of named and shamed a bit on his video. And either deliberately or accidentally, during part of the video, he showed the scammer's phone number. I don't think he showed the address, but he did show the phone number. Something that Louis Theroux did on his documentary with Jimmy Savile. They accidentally, or perhaps not accidentally, filmed something where if you freeze framed and used technology and looked in, you could find Jimmy Savile's address when he was still alive and all of that. But this American channel did that. And, you know, he's got loads and loads and loads of subscribers, you know, hundreds of thousands. And of course, this scammer guy, he's having hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people ringing him, threatening him, giving him death threats, finding his family, giving the family death threats, trying to track him down in real life. God, you wouldn't want that on your conscience, would you? And whilst Ian's not, you know, not as big as this guy, and whilst we don't live in America, where if somebody treads on your toe accidentally, your immediate impulse is to shoot them, especially if they're black. And I think this chap was. You can understand Ian being somewhat reticent in terms of, and he also pointed out to me that there is the prospect of retribution. Now, if he's bought the car, then presumably he's given his real address for some sort of sales invoice. And that means that if somebody goes down and trashes the yard on Ian's behalf, then, next thing you know, you've got somebody coming at your front door with a hammer. And as I say, different situation for Ian than the rest of us. He doesn't strike me as a man who enjoys confrontation, and he's now got a family. So I completely understood why he went the way he did. Skick is here, and Skick has a question for me. Excellent. I love Skick's questions. Is the car sales not for profit? No. Is it employment? Well, not really employment, I suppose, because it doesn't pay enough to be employment. Or is it to saver over cars? Yes. What is it, the car sale thing? It's definitely to saver over cars. It's not for profit. We do try to make a small profit. At the moment, it is I would describe it as a very small protege lifestyle business that at the moment is really just a hobby that pays a little bit of pocket money, but that which we are hoping to develop into more of a proper business, if you like. So I hope that answers that. Ross says Hubnut, in my opinion, is very good at car reviews and frustratingly bad at mechanics. That's why I unsubscribed. He's better than me. Have you unsubscribed from me as well? Simone says Cheeseburger, phone is okay if paired up to Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. You do it all via the dash. I would rather use Android Auto than the built-in sat-nav I have. It's far better. Bloody hell, Cheeseburger. You've just shocked me now. Oh, now we're going to get onto a subject. Or maybe we're not, because maybe it's not really something I should talk about. Cheeseburger says Boaty would have dealt with the situation differently. He would have sent the futurals round. And yeah, well, now there's a name to conjure with. And Cheeseburger, there's history there that I can't really talk about it, not here like this. But if you and I ever meet, or when we meet, I'll tell you all about it, because yeah, there. Yeah, there. Yeah, that. Let's just say that they would be quite high up on the list of the last people that you would want coming around knocking on your door with a grievance. And I should say, Cheesy, was I on the wrong side? No, I wasn't. I wasn't on the wrong side. I was wronged, actually. I was wronged, and I don't enjoy being wronged, and I'm not one to. Oh, I can't say anything. I had my own people. And a member of the clan did wrong me, and the wrong was righted. So I can't. We need to be in a pub where we're not being recorded to talk about that sort of thing. Oh dear. Dan Peters is here. That's jolly nice. Hello, Mr. Boaty, sir. Hope your weekend was good. It was fine, thank you. I'm thinking of planning a holiday for next year. if it's cheap, well, what a good idea. I was thinking about that tonight as well. I'm thinking about whether it's realistic or viable for me to actually try to get to Malta for my birthday, and keep up the tradition that hasn't happened for the last 2 or 3 years, however long it is. I'd love to do it. I'd more especially love to do it now because it would be a completely different experience now because I'd have all of you guys with me. I'd just be videoing all the time. I'd go to all of my favorite spots. And it would mean so much more because I would get to share it with you, and I'd live stream every night, of course. I really, really would love to do it. And I'm just trying to figure out if I can make it in any way remotely viable. I'm going to have another look at flights and hotel prices and whatnot tomorrow, and see if there's any way that I could, because I mean, we're nearly there now, aren't we? My birthday is January the 14th, and I've spoken about it a million times. If you didn't know, then traditionally for 10 years, every year I went out to Malta over the period of my birthday, normally only for 2, 3, 4 days, something like that. And then on my birthday, I would go for a birthday lunch, sometimes on my own, sometimes with company, to St. Patrick's Hotel in Jlendi Bay in Gozo, which is pretty much one of my favorite spots in the world. And it was a thing. And then the pandemic hit and I split up with Boo. Chinese madam came along, and it just stopped happening for a while. And I would love, 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 love to get. Oh, hello. I'll read that one afterwards. That's that's an insight reference to the futurals. I'll read that afterwards, John. I might read it in a minute, actually. Yeah, I'd love to get it done again next year if I could find a way to make it happen, but might be too much too soon. We'll see. Oh, that's kind of you, Sophie, sending nice wishes to John. Multipler, says Chiswick. That's right, it was a multipler, wasn't it? That god awful thing. What in God's name is he thinking of buying that? Oh, who was it? Who was? Oh, Joseph. It was Joseph we were talking to. I don't think we recorded this, but Joseph. We were chatting on the phone on a three-way to Joseph, me and Mustard on. Well, last Monday it would have been, wouldn't it? But Joseph has also said the same thing to me privately, that Hubner is not as thick or bumbling as some people might believe that he is. And he's got a very successful channel, and he knows what people will tune in and watch. So the inference is that one shouldn't necessarily assume that any of his mishaps come entirely through incompetence. They may come through planned incompetence, if that makes any sense, because disasters get clicks. Where did I get to? Oh, and the Mitsubishi wasn't good either, said Cheeseburger. Mitsubishi. Oh, was that the Delica? The like the MPV 4x4 thing? That was, I never really got into that. I kind of got into Hubner after the Delica, I think. I'm aware of it though. I am aware of it though. But I can't remember how he did with it, or how badly he did with it, or whatever. Bring your own lunch and save money, I say, says Dan. Well, that kind of goes against the ethos of it, but I suppose you could. Simone doesn't trust any of that Apple crap. Well, there's a debate to be had, I suppose. Apple, is it crap or is it brilliant stuff? I used to think Apple was crap, and I thought that everybody who used it were sheep and idiots. And I kept on thinking that until I started using it myself. And then I thought, well, this is just in a different league to anything else. And I was really annoyed with myself. I haven't thought it was crap and not using it. And now I wouldn't use anything else. In fact, my laptop, my very old laptop, has finally, to all intents and purposes, given up the ghost. And I need to replace it. Because although I do all of my filming and whatnot off iPhones, I do my editing and whatnot on my iPad, there are certain things that I have to have a laptop for. And mine is buggered. So I did a bit of a Google today. And I ended up coming across the Sky contract thing. You know, like you get mobile phone contracts, all of that. I'm with Vodafone. Vodafone don't do Apple laptops; they only do other brand laptops. And I came across, I can't remember what I was searching for. I think I was searching on Marketplace for a MacBook. I've decided that's what I need. I need to replace my laptop. And obviously, given that I work exclusively with Apple, it makes sense to have a MacBook. And I was looking on Facebook Marketplace, see what it was about and how much it was going to cost and whatnot. And I think I then did an internet search for a particular model of MacBook because I'm not familiar with them. I've never had one. So I was trying to find out a bit of information about one that was on Marketplace. And I came across the Sky website, the Sky contract website, and they've got a Black Friday deal on for, this is slipping down way too easily. Oh God, look at that. Oh, it is 1:45. So they've got a Black Friday offer on a 2020 MacBook Air with the M1 processor. And I did all of my research on it. Looks like a really good unit. Obviously, not the latest bit of technology, but relatively recent. You know, I can't afford to go for bang up to date. So, and everything I saw on it said that, yeah, this is going to be perfect. And the deal was £2 upfront and £19 per month over 36 months. At which point you can, you know how contracts work. You can roll it again. And I thought, well, £2, obviously that's neither here nor there. But I thought 19 quid a month. I could do that now. I'm doing well enough that, well, I mean, that's wrong to say that I'm doing well. I'm not. I'm doing sufficiently not badly, shall we say, where I could squeeze 19 quid a month. I could squeeze 19 quid a month, and I need a laptop. There are certain things that you can't do on an iPad, on an app, even on the browser on the iPad. I do need a laptop, and I thought, well, 19 quid a month, yeah, I can do that. And I did my proper research on this thing, and I thought, yeah, that's going to be. And I started getting a bit excited, and I thought, sod it, right, let's go for it, let's order it. So I chose the colour. I went for space grey, 256 degrees of something, and I went to order it. And on the Sky doings, and went through everything, and it came back. Sorry, your credit check was unsuccessful. Of course, you know, I forget that being poor, I don't do terribly well at credit checks. So, I was gutted, absolutely gutted. I just got used to the idea that I'd have a relatively good recent laptop to work with, same as I've now got a relatively recent iPad and a relatively recent iPhone. And I'm thinking, well, this is going to be brilliant. I mean, I've been talking for ages. I've been promising various bits of merch and all of that side of things. Well, the reason I haven't done it, if I'm completely honest with you, I don't know if I've told you before, but to do it, you've got to have a browser. And my laptop just hasn't, it won't work or it wouldn't work for long enough continually in order for me to get onto the website that's tied into your YouTube where you design and create your merch. It just wouldn't do it. It takes it takes about 6 hours to boot up, and then as soon as you open a browser or something like that, it'll just freeze or stutter and it just makes doing anything really absolutely impossible. So I was getting all excited at the thought of having a relatively new MacBook that would run cleanly and quickly. And I'm thinking, well, I can finally get my merch all up and sorted and do all of that. And hopefully that would pay for it. So it would pay for itself. Even if it didn't, 19 quid a month. I was so sure I could do that. And bloody credit check. Dear, oh dear. So that's gone the way of all good things. So there's not going to be any merch anytime soon. But that'll save you a few quid. You won't have to buy some dodgy T-shirt saying, Mustard and Boaty, pottering pedestrians since 2022. Oh dear. Cheeseburger says, you pay for the lunch, but they have to plug the channel. That would work. I'd do that. Any lunch they like, says Bad Books, off the Istanbul menu. Well, it depends who's paying. I mean, the chances are it's going to be the Milkstone Road. And if Mustard is paying, then it's always going to be Istanbul. Or if you give Mustard the choice, it's always going to be Istanbul. There are other options. Moroccan shawarma is amazing. If I was paying, I might choose that. International chippy is amazing, again on the Milkstone Road. And if I was paying, I might well go for that. Or there's David's chippy in the village itself, if you fancied good old-fashioned fish and chips. But yeah. Russ says Mark on motoring would be a good lunch video. He's the Renault YouTuber, great value. I totally agree with Russ, and he is absolutely on our list. Well and truly, we've already said as much on a video, I think, as well. That yeah, totally. Lovely guy, lovely guy. And I mean that. I would say it even if he didn't watch the live streams, which of course he does. Bless him. But yeah, I mean, Mark will totally be there. And that's one that I would really look forward to. I don't mind either Android or Apple, says Joe. Both have negatives and positives. That's very balanced. Yes, says Bad Books. Mark on motoring is a great bloke. Excellent at filming and interviews. He interviewed me at Photo. Oh, Festival of the Unacceptable, isn't it? Cheeseburger. Camry. Boaty would have turned up with his pottering lube and bent the salesman over the bonnet. Oh gosh, Simone. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, all. I had some more bad news yesterday. Found out my stepdad from back in the 80s died. Oh, bless you. Oh, dear. Revealing names, says Cheeseburger. It's called doxting. Belfield did it to Jeremy Vine. Okay. And Simone just wants Christmas to feck off. She hates this time of year. Oh, I kind of know how you feel there. I'm looking forward to Christmas Day itself. because the restaurant is amazing on Christmas Day and it's going to be an amazing day. Other than that, I'm kind of with you. I would dread it, stroke, ignore it. And the restaurant being open on Christmas Day kind of saves it for me because it means that I can ignore Christmas, but not totally ignore it, if that makes sense. I still do the Christmas thing at the restaurant, but I ignored it at home. And I can promise you that I'll be doing the same this year as I did last year, and I will be doing a lengthy Christmas live stream for all of those who, like me, may well be on their own and not particularly in the Christmas spirit, and for others who are enjoying Christmas with their families but might like to pop in and say hello. So basically, there will be a Christmas live stream, and pretty much on Christmas Day, as soon as I get back from the restaurant, I'll start a live stream and I'll keep it going until I've drunk enough wine that I'm falling over. Ross says, I think at the sub £3,000 mark, private car sales work better as you usually get a more honest purchase. Yes, there's no comeback, but generally people are more honest than salesmen. And I totally agree with that. I mean, I've always bought you buy the seller rather than the car. If you trust the seller, if you get a rapport with the seller, then you trust their description of the car. You trust that they've told you everything that you need to know. And if you're a little bit savvy with people, then it normally works out. I mean, you've seen all the stuff that I've bought and I don't think I've bought a bad one. I might have bought cars that needed bits and pieces in over time if I've owned them a bit longer, but I've not bought a car that was deliberately, well, I mean, I have in the past, but during my YouTube time, I don't think I've bought a bad one, have I? No, I don't think I have. Sophie had, oh, hang on. Oh, paella, Charmaine crackers, whatever they are. And for pudding, double chocolate chip muffins. Crimbo is the only time I get a week off, said Cheeseburger. I have to work even when I take my 2 weeks holiday because I'm self-employed. I hate January. Dark, cold, and miserable. Yeah, that's why I try and go to Malta for just a few days, but it's enough to make all the difference. And I'm going to try and do it. But I don't know if it's going to be financially viable. I mean, for starters, I found out to my shock that my passport has expired. Haven't used it for 3 years. And suddenly it's expired. I don't even know how much that costs to renew. So that could be a very, very immediate stumbling block. Yeah, we should definitely chat offline, Cheeseburger. Fucking hell, Cheeseburger. Ross, if you buy a car sub £3,000 from a dealer, it's probably trouble. I know a bloke trying to sell a load of Rovers that fit that profile. Bollocks to you. I couldn't deliberately sell you a bad car because I do live streams and drink wine. And in vino veritas, in wine there is truth. So all you'd have to do is to tune in at about 1:45 on any given live stream and ask me about the car then. I'll tell you everything I know about it. We've not got many for sale at the moment, actually, thinking about it. Let's think about the Mustard and Boaty Do Cars fleet. What have we got left? The 414 sold. The 623 is sold. Yeah, I think the only ones we've got, I mean, we've got the Golf, but we're not going to talk about that. That is nothing to do with me and nothing to do with the unknown banker. Mustard said, I want to buy this car, blah, 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 blah. And we said, we trust that you know what you're doing. I'm sure it will be fine. But, oh dear, no need for that. So what else is it? The Streetwise has only just gone up for sale, and that's a little belter. Somebody's going to get a little crack of a car with that. That'll be gone before too long. What else is there? The 75 Tourer that we've just bought, we're going to keep, and that's going to be our company smoker. Well, I mean, you can buy it if you want it. You can buy anything if you want to, but the plan is at the moment to keep it. It's I've not seen it yet. I'll see it on Wednesday. I'm going to the yard on Wednesday, by the way. No yard day tomorrow. I'm going to go on Wednesday, and I'm going to take Minge bag for MOT, and that'll be Wednesday's trip. And just to catch up with Mustard, have a nice lunch, blah blah blah, and to see the 75. I've not seen it yet. By all accounts, it is an outrageous shed. Mustard rang me today, and apparently there is a video up on his channel about it, but it's members only at the moment. And I thought, fine, brilliant. And I'm not a member. I was yesterday, but I'm not today, so it must have expired. So I can't see the video, so I can't see the car that I actually own a third of. But apparently, aesthetically, it's an absolute howling shed of a thing. But it's a 75 Tourer. It's the CDTI. It's automatic, and it's the Connoisseur SE with full spec, with cruise control and everything. So yeah, the plan is to keep it as a company smoker and have it as a long-term project, and try and make it either beautiful or ridiculous, or a combination of the two. Cheeseburger says, hubby was an acclaimed classic car journalist. He's no mug. Yeah, well, that's kind of my understanding of it as well, and that's certainly what Joseph will tell you. Has anyone seen the new film from Tasty Classics with Vanden Pla 1500? Cheeseburger says it was a delica, and Christ, it was awful. I don't like Apple phones, says Cheeseburger. Daughter bought herself a Mac, and that is brilliant. Yes, they are. They sell Apple Macs to students for pennies. Clever marketing. Get them young. Yeah, or just, get them to, I don't know. I mean, I'm a cynical old fart, and I think Apple stuff is great. I just think it's brilliant. It's expensive, yeah. Is it perfect? No, but I think it's head and shoulders above anything else on the market. Oh, I saw that too, says Joe. MacBook Air for 19 quid a month. I mean, that works out at 600 and something quid. And if you went out to go and buy one, just buy one outright, then the cheapest I've seen is 799 quid. John Lewis, Curry's, anywhere. They're all 799 for that exact model. So to get one interest-free over 36 months for what works out at 600 and something, it's a total bargain. And I'm really, really gutted that my bloody poor credit means that I can't get hold of the damn thing. I did ask Ram if he would buy it for me in his name, and I'd just give him the money every month. But he doesn't want to take on he won't take on a 36-month contract because, well, I didn't really understand why should he? Why should he? Apparently the way the MacBook interfaces with the iPhone is amazing, says Cheeseburger. Yeah, well, I'm not going to find out, am I? I've always had MacBooks and an iMac, says Joe. They are fantastic. And last year's, mine are both 2012 models, and I've had them since new. I've never had a MacBook. I did have a very old iMac, and I was incredibly impressed that this very old iMac that I bought worked better than my brand new Sony Windows thing. No worries, Soph. I've got you. Okay, don't know what that's about. Hello, Podgerers, says Stephen S. Paul. How are we all? Skick says, if you put yourself in gear boat, you would make Hubnut look like nothing. Oh, I'm liking this. I'm going to read that again. If you put yourself in gear boat, you would make Hubnut look like nothing, in my view. You have all the tools to be great on YouTube and flourish. Gosh, well, thank you very much, and I will certainly try. Seriously, Skick, I mean, you've been, I love your input. You're critical where you feel the need to be critical, but you're also incredibly encouraging, and I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate your support. Thank you very much. Sky Contract says Cheeseburger. 696 quid for a MacBook for 3 years. Unbeatable. I know, and I can't get it. I can't get it. I refuse to have a laptop without a disk drive, says Simone. Well, that's okay for you. I mean, I couldn't give a hoot. Barry Scrotter says, I've been outside all afternoon prepping my car for its trip up north today. Came in having solved most of its little niggles. I felt good and satisfied till the wife had bad news. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that, mate. Oh, and the washing machine had broken. The last three have all done it this time of year, just before Christmas. Tricky chaps, washing machines, says Barry Scratter. Oh, Ross, you're very kind too. Joe says, I'll be looking to upgrade my Apple computer sometime soon, Boaty. You're welcome to my MacBook Pro or my iMac, both extremely fast and both have had upgrades for performances. Oh, that's incredibly kind. Diddly-do. Oh, we're talking washing machines. Boaty's balls, a Christmas spectacular. Oh, look at the time, darlings. It's time that we buggered off. Oh, a new passport is about 80 quid, says Cheeseburger. Oh, 80 quid. Right. That's not a total deal breaker, but it does give me pause for thought. 80 quid. I mean, it's something that I should do anyway, but could I do 80 quid for a passport and still get to Malta? I'll check out the latest prices tomorrow. Those creaky floorboards are terrible in this place. Did you hear that? God almighty. Oh, damn floorboards. Oh, adult standard 34-page passport renewal is £98.50, says Joe. That would be that would be a deal breaker. I mean, that's 100 quid. No chance. Video title, would you buy a cheap car off a man like this? Fair enough. Oh, supper tonight is going to be noodles, by the way, and I'm really excited about it. I don't know what I'm going to have for lunch tomorrow. I've got a voucher for the beef eater that I blagged, and I'm half thinking about going to the beef eater for lunch tomorrow, seeing as I'm not getting my yard lunch. Now we're talking tumble dryers. Oh, hang on. Everybody's banging on about bloody condenser tumble dryers. I have a condenser tumble dryers, darlings. I bought it secondhand. It's in there. I'll show it to you. It's, oops. Oh, God. The squeaky carpet here. It is, let me get my body out of the way. It's there underneath the tool chest. And from memory, it works very well. I think I've used it twice. The last time about 7 years ago. Skick says, do you own the car? Thought the unknown banker owned the cars and you got a third profit. No and no. Wrong on both of those, Skick. Oh, God. You see, I haven't seen this video. Joe obviously has. Fred the Shed, is that what it's called? Fred the Shed is a literal shed. This is, oh, God, I've not seen it. I couldn't believe the condition of it. It's worse than poor Zomberic with no door seals or sunroof. Oh, bloody hell. And this is supposed to be our new company car. Mustard in the 75. If ever a homeless man managed to get off the street and live in a car, is it that bad? I don't want to see it now. I don't want to watch it. And I don't want it as my company car. Thank you very much. Is it that bad? I mean, Mustard did say it was a total shed. And the guy that he bought it off, he just rocked up to the yard and said, do you still buy scrap Rovers? And Mustard said, well, no, not really, but what have you got? You know, I've got it. And he was just insistent that it was only fit for scrap. But Mustard sold it to us as being, yeah, I can sort this. Is it a total fucking heap? Oh, God. Could be amusing. It'll make for good content. I definitely need to get my ass to the yard on Wednesday and start filming it. Apple is fantastic, says Joe. Had loads of Apple products over the years. The only model I had 6 warranty handsets on was the iPhone XR. We're looking to go back to Apple in 2024 as I want to upgrade my iMac. Video title, you can't always get what you want. Another video title, Camry Macintosh. Boaty, did you hear that asshole talking shit behind your back? Outrageous. I think it was a creaky floorbud. Mustard and Boaty by a Friday afternoon rover. Oh, Neil. Oh, fucking hell. Neil says, you won't moan about the saggy roof lining. It doesn't have one. Oh, God. Jesus. Joe says, mate, it ain't a very great look for a company car. I can say that. Doesn't look like it'll make it 2 yards out of the yard. God. Oh, God. What has he done? Oh, what has he done? Oh, dear. Oh, God. Well, I'll find out on Wednesday, I suppose, when darlings, it's 10 past midnight. Thank you for joining me on this impromptu and unexpected Sunday night live. Oh, yeah, the ring road warranty. Well, I mean, the guy sold it to us as only being fit for scrap, sold it to him. At least Mustard can spray it now. Yeah, apparently Mustard has got all sorts of painting by numbers kits. So, oh, don't ask about the lack of appeal either. Do you want me to screen record Paul's video and send it to you? No, I don't, Joe, by the sound of it. I don't want to know what car I now own a third of. Oh, God. You have to see Fred the Shed. Oh, I'll probably just I'll pay $2.99 to join to be a channel member for Mustard. I mean, he sent me. He has sent me a couple of super chats, a quid each time, and so I can't grumble. Oh God! All right, darlings, let's leave that one at that. What's happening? So tomorrow, I'm not at the yard. I haven't got any particular plans for the day. I might go to the beef eater for lunch. I definitely need to go and start sorting the tires on. Oh, Neil, bless you. Thank you so much. Neil, bless him, has sent us super chat, and that means I will. I will go and watch it. Thank you, Neil. Bless you. I don't want to now, but yeah, I will join Mustard's channel and go and watch this video of this bloody car. Oh, it would make a good shit. Is it that bad? Is it really that bad? I mean, you're making it. Oh God. Neil, you own the Rover now. I'd pay to see your reaction to it. I might film it. I might actually film that. Actually, yeah. I might not watch it tonight. I might watch it tomorrow, and I might film myself watching it. Yes, that'd be a good video, wouldn't it? That'd be. It's all the rage, isn't it? I think they call it a reaction video. I'll do that. That's what I'll do. And thank you very much, Neil. So tomorrow, yeah. Oh fucking hell, mate! It's fucking horrendous. Has Mustard lost the plot or something? He bought that bloody golf and now he's bought this. What's up with him? Does he need intervention? Christ above. Oh dear God. Okay, so yeah, so tomorrow, no particular plans. Might go to the beef eater for lunch. Probably won't be asked. I definitely need to go and Stigbert's tires. It's a 2-part plan, and I need to do part 1 tomorrow, and then I need to do part 2 before next Monday, which means that I need to book it well before next Monday, like tomorrow. Really? So that next Monday, I can take Liz's wheels back to her. Bless her. Well, not back to her, but back to her car, which is in the Yard of Dreams, but won't be there for very much longer. The Golf looks like a Rolls Royce in comparison. Fucking hell, what has he done? Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm dreading looking at it now. Oh no. I mean, he said that it could do with a bit of paint and it needed a parcel shelf. He didn't mention anything about it. Oh God. Oh no. Oh sweet Jesus. So yeah, that's the and what else tomorrow? And then tomorrow night I'm either going to a Nepalese party at a friend of ours' Nepalese restaurant in Nottingham that I think Ram is going to, but I probably won't go because to go to a Nepalese party, you've got to be rich because everything costs money and I haven't got any. But the other thing I might do tomorrow night, which is going to sound bizarre, given I've just said I've got no money, is I might go to the casino. I suddenly realized I went through some old videos to find a particular one the other day, and it is over a year since I've been to the casino, and that is too long. So I've got a Monday night free tomorrow. So I'm almost certainly going to go to the casino. I can't afford to really gamble anything, of course, but I just want to go because I like going, and I know all of the people there, and they're my friends, and I really miss it. And it would be it'll be a nice thing to do. So that's the plan. Whatever I do, you can be sure I'll film bits of it. So that's it for tonight. Have yourselves, yeah, it has got a toe back. Oh God, Joe, you've got me seriously worried now. All right, darlings, we will catch up tomorrow night. There will be Monday Night Live, of course, 10 o'clock onwards. I'm going to get off and cook my lovely noodles I've got. So have yourselves a safe and peaceful night. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Thank you to Neil for the super chat. Thank you for all of you for rocking up. Very best wishes to John. Condolences to Simone for her recent bad news. And yeah, have a safe and peaceful night. Take great care of yourselves. Have the best day that you can tomorrow. And I really hope to see you tomorrow night, 10 o'clock. Much love from me and good night, darlings.